start. Just wait for 1 minute.
Hello.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Mm-hmm. You are not visible. Just turn on and turn off your camera.
Okay.
Yeah. Am I visible?
No, you are not visible.
Yeah, just because of recording. I have to
Uh,
also do the same.
okay.
Yeah. Now
Now,
can you see me?
yeah, now you're good. Now.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. So, good afternoon.
A very good afternoon. So how are you?
I'm fine. What about you?
Yeah, I'm also well. I'm doing great. So
Uh,
tell me something about yourself because I think it is our first meeting. We need to introduce ourselves first because I don't know you. You maybe you might know about me also, but it is my first time that I'm talking to you. So I need
uh,
your introduction.
okay. Yeah, actually, my name is Anand. I'm a teacher. I teach English. I teach English in a school, and I'm a YouTuber as well. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm from Patna actually. I started a channel. The name of the channel is Grammar Wala. I upload a conversational video, and I actually started in the month of May.
Okay.
So this is my short introduction. What about you?
Well, this is Sandhya, and I'm from UP. In UP, I'm living a small village. And if I talk about my qualifications, so I'm doing bachelor's now. It's my third semester. And if I talk about my speaking journey, so when I passed my 12, then I start to learn this language. So nowadays I'm getting this opportunity to talk different YouTuber. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not a serious YouTuber. Just for people, I create a YouTube channel, or just for motivation or entertainment, I created a YouTube channel. And as I can say, I'm a YouTuber, but not a serious, just because of my entertainment, as I can say. Because whenever I'm having conversation with anybody, they were asking about my like why are you doing this and that, and they exactly wanted to know about me that is it that I'm speaking English or Hindi? Because whenever I upload conversation video, short conversation video, I mixed song. Then I said, okay, I will upload 3 or 4 video of mine. So I uploaded 4 or 5 conversation video over my channel. So that's it. So that people can get it. So yeah.
Okay. So what's the reason you are learning English? Sorry to ask.
No, no, no. It is important question and it is good question. Every learner should know this. Why we are learning this language? What's the reason? So if I talk about me, so since childhood I was passionate to learn this language, and when I was child, I wanted to study in English medium, but just because of some problem I chose Hindi medium. But now I'm thinking that I was lucky that I choose Hindi medium. Just because of Hindi medium, I'm here. I'm speaking this language. What if I would be if I study in English medium and I would not speak this language? So this is good. This was my passion, and that's why I learned this language, and I love this language. And if I talk about learning languages, it will, if you are going to learn any language, until unless it is going to give a lot of benefit, you are going to learn a lot of things. That's what I have realized and I have learned few things, or as I can say, I cannot express in my word that what I have gained to learn this language. Nowadays, I'm getting opportunity to be a tutor, also to be an English teacher, and people like me to talk in English, and they want to talk to me. That's a very good thing. And if you're going to talk anybody, you are going to learn a lot of things. So, suppose I'm living in village now. I'm getting opportunity to talk different YouTubers and different people who's living in different state and one time I got opportunity to talk of foreigner also. So this is a good thing. We need to do this. Each and every student should do this. Not student, every person should, but especially student. It is a require for all students. Communication skill is a must require for all students.
Why do you think communication skill is very important? And first thing, second thing is how a language is different from communication skill.
So see, communication skill is a art that you can learn. It is an art. It can be any language, not only in English, in Hindi, Marathi, Gujarati. So this is communication skill means how to talk people. So this is called a communication skill. It is not like that if I'm speaking English, so my communication must be good. My communication is a good. No, it's not like that. Communication skills can be any languages, Hindi, English, Marathi, Gujarati, any languages.
Okay, so
So yeah.
actually you are speaking very good English. So tell me about how did you start learning this language, and what were the difficulties you were facing while learning this language?
So being a villager, I faced a lot of problem. Not only one problem, I can share you because it's for me it was so difficult to learn this language because I'm living in a village, so I was using phone to talk anybody to make my video, to make my recordings, and to do any kind of activity just to learn this language. People say that it is very easy to learn this language, but for Hindi medium or anybody, it is quite difficult. When we start to learn this language, we have to think which kind of app we should use and how we should start, and whether we should go for the grammar or not, how we should learn vocabulary, and how should which kind of book we should read. So we need to think a lot of things. So I was also juggling from these things, and then I came to know, okay, now I'm going to start first listening. So I start to do listening, I start to use application. I was also making my video, I was talking to people, I was recording those voice whenever I am having conversation with anybody. I made stranger people as my friend, because so that I can get environment, English environment. So these all things I did it, and I faced a lot of problem, not only one. And once I faced a problem, one person said to me, see, you cannot learn English until unless you are going to take any classes as online classes for that. Because English, learning English, it is grammar is a must. You should know uses, some uses you should know. So I was confused. I like, because when I was learning that time this language, i was uh, I was a student, and I didn't have money, and my family member didn't know about me that, yeah, actually I was learning this language. I used to do all kind of activity at night time. At daytime I didn't talk anybody. At night time I used to make video. I used to talk in front of the mirror. I used to record my voice as audio call. I used to listen my voice. I used to watch my video. Then I just delete that video so that nobody can watch my video. I used to read books in at night time. I read Mahabharata, Ramayana in English, and Magic of Big Thinking, APJ Abdul Kalam sir book, and Sudha Murthy ma'am book also. I have kept ignited mind book that first I'm reading this book. So I did a lot of things. Not only one thing. So it was difficult, but now I'm so satisfied to learn this language, because nowadays people are giving me a lot of respect. So for me, this is amazing.
Okay, so actually, when you started learning English, you were confused about the grammar, about listening. Uh, uh, which way we should start? So, what conclusion have you come to?
Now, as I can say, if anybody wants to learn this language, so don't go for the grammar. You don't need grammar, because you want to learn this language. You don't want to be master in this language. You're not going to do study a subject. English is a subject, and you are going to learn a language. For learning language, only you need to have good command over the basic grammar. What is the present tense? What is the past tense? What is the future? 12 tenses. Okay,
Mhm.
and some uses like should, could, would, may, might. That's it. Model verb. That's it.
Yeah.
Because you can see on conversation, people are uploading conversation video. They are talking casual talk. They are talking daily routine. When you will start to talking, and most of the time I have absorbed people use tenses only, not a lot uses. Somewhere they are using phrases, but it's okay. First, you try to speak in tenses, not go for the all the what is the article, what is the adjective, what is the preposition, what is the conjunction, and a lot of things, the transformation. This is not for learning language.
Yeah, actually, in states like Bihar and UP, uh, students are taught too much grammar in
Exactly.
schools. in schools. Actually, they believe that unless your grammar is good, you can't learn this language. So
Yeah,
actually they actually spend most of the time learning grammar, and that is the reason students from Bihar, UP, they are quite comfortable with grammar, but they are not so good at speaking. So
yeah,
that's the reason, why students from Bihar and UP, they crack competitive examination, because in competitive examinations only you have nothing to do with speaking. You have something to
exactly.
do with common error, some
Yeah,
antonyms
grammar.
are actually asked. So they crack examination, but when it comes to speaking this language, they have problem. And the reason I told you, since beginning they are taught grammar. So I completely agree with you that initially grammar should not be taught, but actually I'm a teacher and I
Mm-hmm.
teach in school, and I don't have courage to say this thing, to students. Actually, the moment I say this thing to students, actually my director will, come to the, class, and he will ask me a number of questions. How dare you say this? That grammar is not important. I know that because without grammar, nothing can happen. So
Oh,
most of the people are of the view that unless your grammar is actually good, you can't learn this language, and that is the misconception. I think that that is the misconception. We need just a basic knowledge of grammar for speaking, and I actually consider grammar as a big hurdle when it comes to speaking this language. So even I suggest not to learn grammar while you are trying to learn speaking. But people are so convinced that once they start with grammar, then they actually memorize some vocabulary, and then they comes to speaking practice, and it takes a lot of time, and that's why most of them, out of frustration, they just leave this practice. And this is what happened most of the time when I started with me. So many friends of mine started learning English, but almost all of them actually left. Only I kept learning, and now I teach English in a school.
yeah, just because of guidance, they don't know what's the requirement of this speaking. They thought that we need to know whole and complete grammar, but it is not important because grammar is a vast syllabus. If you are
Yeah,
now you're learning what is the narration, and then you will learn what is the active voice and passive voice, then you will forget about narration, where we should use what, where we should change he said to, where we should isn't it we should say change said into told, say will change or not, you have to remember. When you are going to remember narration, you are going to forget the active voice and passive voice, then you are going to remember your tenses. Then you have to learn the preposition and conjunction, articles, transformations, and a lot of things in grammar. How
yeah,
can anybody remember all those things in one particular time? You cannot.
yeah,
for
yeah, yeah, yeah,
for examination we can remember when we solve papers, previous year paper, then we got to know that where we should use this and that. So this
yeah.
is for examination, and we are learning a language. You know what, whatever your manager said that how can you say that grammar is not necessary for learning, then you can ask question to him next time that isn't it when you born at that time you learn your mother tongue grammar, Hindi vyakaran.
Actually, they are so convinced that they are not ready to listen to you. They are so convinced that they will not listen to you.
See, I can tell you. See. What's the reason behind this managers and English teacher and all the people who said that we need to know grammar? Because they want money only. If you will going to teach a student less grammar, they will learn this language in less time, and they will be fluent. They'll start to do another activity. They will left your coaching institution because they just want to learn this language. So when they will able to speak this language, they will going to left your coaching, and you are not going to earn this money. So that's why people just entangled students in this institution and coaching. No, you have to learn all grammar or parts of speech, everything. But learning language, it is not required for all complete and whole grammar. and anybody can learn this language by YouTube. YouTube is a boon for everybody. I have learned from YouTube. On YouTube, what you need to do, just try to listen some kind of content in English, try to absorb. You can follow blogger in English, you can follow English stories channels, you can follow English news or Sadhguruji, Guru Gopal these, and a lot of YouTubers are there. You can follow anybody. Just watch and try to watch movies in English. Try to listen song. Whatever you are doing, whatever you are listening, try to change it. Try to do in English only for 1 month. You will be fluent in English. I don't know how your manager said that without grammar nobody can learn this language. I have talked to so many people, not only one, 2, 3, 4, 5. Even though I had conversation with one person who was uneducated, even though he haven't gone schools, he said, I'm learning this language just because of my kid, and I just want to teach my kid how to speak this language. And even though I don't know exactly where we should use do does, but I'm just speaking just because of my listening practice, and I don't know how to read a book. So now
Yeah.
you can imagine grammar doesn't matter. You
Yeah.
and if anybody only can speak language on the basis of listening, so we are educated. We have done our study in Hindi medium, and being a teacher in Hindi medium, how English teacher teach grammar. No, this
Yeah,
and that.
one more reason why they say grammar is more important because they are comfortable with grammar. They teach grammar most of the time because they are comfortable only with grammar. They are not so comfortable with speaking. That's the reason why they actually give this kind of advice because they know they can't give they can't actually being a teacher. Most of the time I have seen even teachers say this thing, if you want to learn this language just focus on grammar. And the reason why they say and why they advise to students because they themselves are comfortable only with grammar. So
Exactly.
they do not actually want to expose their dark side, their weakness. That's the reason they advise that they give this sort of advice. First thing. Second thing, in many cases actually if you ask somebody to give you advice, no matter even if they don't know even ABC of that area, they are quite ready to give you advice. Yeah, if you ask any rickshaw puller to say something how English should be learned, even they can advise you. Yeah, I start with okay, I start with vocabulary. Vocabulary is more important. So most of the time this happens, but those who are expert in this area, they actually understand and they actually give actual advice.
See, nowadays, I got opportunity to be a teacher, but I did not just because of my study. So nowadays, I'm getting mails who just want to learn this language. I said I cannot teach you, but I can guide you. I just tell them do this and that. First I ask them exactly what do you want to do in future, why you want to learn this language, what's the reason. When they tell that, see, I want to be tutor, some said I want to just crack interview, some said just I want to learn this language. So their categories are divided. See, suppose I want to be a tutor. If I want to be a tutor, then I need to know grammar. I need to know correct sentence structure, because in future I have to guide people, I have to teach students, so I need to know complete grammar. Okay, so I will not go for the first grammar. First, I'll try to listen something. I'll try to know what's the sentence, because I don't know anything. What's the sentence and how to speak this language? Or just I can say I will go for the tenses, and then I will try to speak in tenses. When I will be fluent in tenses, 12 tenses, then I'll go for another thing, active voice, passive voice, narration, or just uses. First, I will go for the tenses, because most of the time we use tenses only, not uses. You can see each and everybody, even though you can see politics also, they use tenses a lot. And in while having conversation with anybody, we use present tense a lot. So that's why most of the people are comfortable to use present tense. But when it comes to speak in past and future, they'll stuck. Past perfect and future perfect tense, they'll stuck, because we don't use past perfect and future perfect. So first we need to know basic tense, then we can go ahead. And if I'm a woman, suppose I'm a woman and I want to learn this language just because of kids, I want to teach kids. So I will not go for the uses and model verbs, active voice and passive voice. I just want to learn. So what I will do, I will go for the only basic tense. And if I talk about vocabulary, reading, if I know reading how to do, I'll start to read books. I'll start to know about basic things. I will start to speak people. I will use some application, or if I'm suppose I'm not comfortable to use application, then I'll try to make my own video. I try to speak in front of the mirror. I will speak my daily routine so that I can improve my tenses.
Yeah, actually, and one more reason, and that is very unfortunate that I have seen in many schools, in many CBSE schools, actually even English is taught in Hindi. Means teachers explain most of the time they explain things in Hindi. Actually, when I joined my school 3 years back, actually before me one teacher was teaching over there, and I saw the copy of a student. When I actually saw, I was surprised that CBSE students are being taught everything in Hindi, like we should use a present indefinite if the sentence ends with ta hai, ti hai. I asked some one other teacher, is this the way CBSE students needs to be taught? Then actually he was very senior actually teacher. So this is also, the reason actually even English is taught in Hindi. I think environment, plays a very important role when it comes to learning a language. So unless or until you have, a sort of situation, you put yourself in a environment and you actually get engaged with some sort of activity, it is hard to learn a
Exactly.
language. Activity is very important.
Yes. See, we cannot list our mother tongue. While teaching anybody, we can use Hindi, not a lot of Hindi. We can teach student in English, not full of Hindi, full of English. English. While
Yeah.
making them understand, first try to speak English. If they don't understand, you can make them Hindi. Because we are more comfortable to express ourselves in Hindi because this is our mother tongue.
Yeah.
तो उसमें हम आप बच्चों को अच्छे से समझा सकते हैं. So we can speak only one time, and if we want to teach anybody how to learn this language, so we can make environment, because in one class there are 15 or 15 plus students and teacher also. You can set a timetable, you can fix their conversation, you can say them go and do debate, then they can learn.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Actually, thank you for. Do you have any question for me?
No, I don't have any question, but I would like to know about you. Like, why are you learning this language? What was your reason that you started to learn this language?
Actually, well, I was in high school when I started, this language. Earlier, it was just my hobby, but actually, after graduation, it becomes my profession. Now, I've been teaching English for the last 7 years, and as I told you, most of the time earlier, I was occupied with the grammar. But I realized that grammar is not that much useful. So now to improve my communication skill, I started this channel and I upload conversational videos.
That's nice. Even though I love this language and I love to teach students only this language, because once I didn't go in primary school or just government school, but I met some students who's doing studying government school. So I come to know, then I realized that once I need to teach those students. Then I said, okay, first I will do VTC, then I will teach, I will give exam, then I will clear this exam, then I go for the primary school. Then I'll try to teach students that how to learn this language. Yeah, I know that I cannot teach a student as a on time because I don't have time. I'm doing my study. So that's why I choose that. Okay, one day I'll definitely teach a student. So yeah, that is it. This is my passion, to speak this language, to talk people, to teach somebody. I'm teaching, as I can say, but I'm not taking any money. I'm just helping them. In at night time, they call me. I just talk to them. I just tell them do this and that, try to ask question this type and try to use this application and that application. Because I know a lot of application, I have used application, so I have experience. So that's what I'm telling nowadays people. I'm not teaching grammar.
Okay. Okay. So any coaching center?
Sorry.
Don't you teach in any school or any coaching center?
No, just because of my study, I'm not doing right now. I will teach. I will teach when I would be a government teacher.
Okay, you want to become a government teacher?
No, I don't want to be a government teacher. It is my short-term goal, as I can say. I want to be civil servant.
Okay, you want to, become IS or IPS. So okay, best
SDR.
of okay, best of luck for for your bright future. Thank you for this conversation. Thank you for taking your time out. Thank you,
Yeah, thanks a lot.
thank you.
Most welcome.